Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another Rookie Card Collector 123 video. In today's episode, we are going to continue our look at the true rookie cards for the National Baseball Hall of Famers. We're working in alphabetical order going backwards from Z. So we are currently in the W's, which is where we'll start off today. So the first player we're going to look at is one of the biggest rookie cards in the hobby these days. It's going to be a W600 Sporting Life Cabinets Hannes Wagner. Wagner's pictured in a business suit there. And let me see if I can get a better shot. So Wagner's pictured in his business suit. The bottom of the Sporting Life cabinet mount there is the early version with the Sporting Life company logo and information below it, which identifies it as a Type 1 Sporting Life mount. So these ran from 1902 to 1911. The Type 1s were the earliest ones, issued in 1902 and the beginning of 1903. There was four different types issued over those 9 seasons from '02 to 11. Type 1, 2, 3, and 4, with 4 being the latest one. The Type 4s were issued after 1906 or beginning in 1906. So Honus Wagner, this card has brought six-figure prices at auction. The last couple of times it sold in condition. You never really find a high-grade condition, so something graded like a 4 or a 5 is considered high grade for this type of issue. These are oversized. They're cabinet card size, which is roughly about 5.5 by 8. These are the largest cards that I consider to be baseball cards and qualify for rookie card status, therefore. And very popular. There's a lot of Hall of Fame rookies in the W600 Sporting Life Cabinet series. There's numerous hundreds of players in there. You receive these via mail through a promotion from the Sporting Life newspaper magazine. The second one we're going to look at is going to be Rube Waddell. Rube Waddell was a highly regarded pitcher. Pitched for in the early 20th century, 1900 era. Pitched for the Philadelphia Athletics. Later on, pitched for the St. Louis Ball Club during the 1900s as well. Waddell had some sort of eccentric personality issues, and one of the more popular, more widely collected players of the early 20th century. Waddell was a Hall of Fame pitcher, starting pitcher. He again appears with the 1902 image and his business attire. Both Wagner and Waddell have later images in the issue that are types 2 or 3 or 4 in the baseball uniforms. So this again is the earliest Waddell and a true rookie card for Rube. These also bring nice prices today. This is probably a 5-figure card in mid-grade condition these days. Next one we're going to look at is going to be Bill Veeck. Bill Veeck was again, he was another eccentric guy. He was the owner of initially the 1940s Cleveland Indians, late 40s team that won the World Series in 48. He's the one that brought Satchel Paige to the majors. And after that, a little bit later on, was with the St. Louis Browns a few years later, brought Paige to the Browns. Always respected Page's, not only his showmanship, but his pitching abilities. At that stage, Page was well into his 40s, well past his prime years, which happened during the Negro League days. So Veeck is on this 1982 Ohio Hall of Fame. It's sort of a commemorative type of issue. It's got a lot of old timers in there. Um, kind of a it's got red ornate borders surrounding the black and white image on there. The back has some bio and stats. You can't see the back here. But it's an interesting card. You don't come across these too often. Um, Unfortunately, it's not a career, during his days with Cleveland, St. Louis, or Chicago White Sox later on, but nice, cool card. Next one we're going to look at is Archie Vaughan. Vaughan was a Pittsburgh Pirates shortstop great. Came up around 32, 33. Played with the Pirates through the 30s and then also played into the 1940s. This is a popular card. Many of you probably recognize it's a 1933 Gowdy, the earlier year of the 33, 34 Gowdy color cards. These came in packs of gum, one bubble gum piece and one card in a pack for a penny. So Vaughan is one of the all-time great hitting shortstops in MLB history. Decent fielder as well, but most highly regarded for his batting, and a leader of the Pirates during the 30s, along with the Wayner brothers, Paul and Lloyd, who we looked at rookie cards for the last episode. Next card we're going to look at is Dazzy Vance. Dazzy Vance was a pitcher who looked, appearance-wise, always looked much older than he was. And he was started as a major league star, was sort of at an advanced age by the time he started to gain real notoriety, and pitched a long time after that. This pictures him in 1924 with Brooklyn. Not sure if they were the Superbas or the Dodgers at that point. Maybe the Dodgers. This was produced by Diaz Cigarettes, which was a Cuban tobacco company. Actually, the same company that printed the Tomas Gutierrez Cuban League cards of many of the Negro Leaguers during the 23-24 season. So Vance here on this Diaz Cigarettes, Diaz was printed in 24 as well. It had 100 or 102 cards, something like that, in the set. And every single card is a MLB pitcher, making it a really unique series. Some people may not consider it a rookie card because it's an international issue from Cuba. But it's a pretty substantial set. It's, like I said, over 100 cards, all MLB and all pitchers. There's a few other rookie cards in here which we're going to come across as we go through the alphabetical listing of Hall of Famers. So Dazzy Vance will be the first one. These are very rare. Populations on something like this is probably under 5. And these are pretty highly sought after, especially the rookies. So really tough card to find. Dazzy Vance, Hall of Fame pitcher with Brooklyn. Next card we're going to look at is Pirates third base great Pie Traynor. Traynor came up in the early 20s with Pittsburgh and would play along with Paul and Lloyd Wayner, and later on Archie Vaughan during the 30s. Traynor was regarded by many as the first or the best third baseman of the first maybe 50 years of Major League Baseball. From his based on his contemporary remembrances. Traynor was a good hitter, good fielder. This is a 1922 E120 American Caramel card. That's his rookie card. He also appears and a W573, which is the exact same front of the card with a blank back. That one's a strip card. The American Caramel here has advertising on the back, along with a checklist. And these are not easy to find, but they are out there. Populations are not as rare as some of the other really tough sets, but highly desirable. Many people collect the cards from the set or certain players from the set. There's a Babe Ruth in there. Almost all the major stars from the 20s era you'll find in there: Ty Cobb, Walter Johnson, and others. So Pie Trainer rookie, E120 from 1922, American Caramel. Okay, next one we're going to look at is Joe Torre, more modern card. This is post-war, obviously. Torre was the major league catcher for the Braves, primarily. Also played a good amount of time with the Cardinals. He did played a lot of third base with St. Louis. Um, All-star on multiple occasions. Then turned to managing once his playing career was done, and actually made the Hall of Fame on the managing side. He managed some of the great Yankee teams from the '90s that won championships with Derek Jeter and Jorge Posada and Bernie Williams and all those guys that played there. So Torrey's rookie is a 62 tops. It's got the All Star rookie trophy on it as well. Um, Mainstream tops card. Not too much else to say about that one. Very popular player and manager, Joe Torre. Next one we're going to look at is one of the Negro League greats. This is Cristobal Torriente. Of course, they never printed any cards in the U.S. of the Negro League guys. So this is actually a Cuban baseball card. To 1923 to 24 Beacon, which is a tobacco company in Cuba. Picturing Torriente in a real photograph image there. Nice image. These beacons are really tough to find. Populations are probably somewhere in the 5 to 10 range for most of these cards. Those are for the better known guys. The lesser known guys typically could be under 5. But Torriente was a slugger, high average hitter, played for some of Rube Foster's Chicago American Giants teams in the 20s, played a lot of winter ball in his homeland of Cuba, and was known to have quite a temper and got into some brawls and things like that. So not always the best mannered person, but a fantastic ball player and Negro League Hall of Famer, Cristobal Torriente. Okay, next one we're going to look at is Chicago Cubs Hall of Fame third baseman Joe Tinker. Tinker was part of the famous Tinkers to Evers to Chance double play combination that played for the Chicago Cubs during the early 1900s, 1900 to 1910 era. Tinker appears on a W600 Sporting Life that we looked at Wagner and Rube Waddell before. Tinker's in the a little bit later series. This one looks like a Type 2 mount. So this one came around 1903, 1904. Was produced through 1911 with the Sporting Life mail away promotion. Tinker's in his baseball uniform, where Waddell and Wagner were in their business clothes. The business clothes is a giveaway that it's an earliest issue. They did away with the business clothes after the first type was issued. So all the remaining types are all in uniform. So Tinker, W600, Sporting Life, Chicago Cubs, third base, great. Okay, next one is The image on the card's a little bit light, but it's a 1887 Old Judge, Sam Thompson. Thompson divided his career between the Philadelphia ball club of the National League and the Detroit. They were the Detroit Wolverines before the Tigers. So he played primarily in the 19th century. I believe he played a couple of years into the 20th century. But here, picturing him on his old judge card, the old judges were issued from 1887 to 1890. Some of them could be more precisely dated to a specific year or 2 years. But Thompson was a big hitter, a home run hitter, a high average guy, star of the Detroit team that had three other Hall of Famers and was one of the best teams of the late 19th century, outfielder. So Sam Thompson, Old Judge rookie card, 1887 to 1890. Okay. Next one is, I'm sure, a familiar card to everybody. This is 1990 Leaf, Frank Thomas. Thomas has numerous rookie cards from 1990s, and Tops and Score, and a couple of the other updated sets. Leaf is his most widely collected and most valuable rookie issue, part of the junk wax era. So even the Leaf cards are relatively inexpensive these days. Frank Thomas was a great first baseman, DH for Chicago White Sox. Perennial 300 hitter, 30 home runs, 100 RBIs. You can count on every season just about from him. Very consistent and Hall of Fame first baseman for Chicago. Next one we're going to look at is Bill Terry. Terry was a first baseman for the New York Giants team beginning in the mid 20s. This is a 1925 exhibit card of Terry early in his career. The exhibit cards were sort of like postcard size. They were sold in exhibit vending machines, usually in penny arcades, but they were also in baseball stadiums, I found out more recently as well. So Terry's pictured here in quite a unique fielding pose, leaping in the air to catch a ball, which is in his glove, it looks like at this point. The 25 exhibits is one of the tougher series of exhibits to find from the 1920s. They started in 21 and then they ran all the way through the 30s, 40s, and 50s and into the mid 60s. But the 25 issue is one of the toughest. Bill Terry populations is probably somewhere in the 10 or so range as far as graded. So Bill Terry, 25 exhibits, New York Giants first baseman. Very tough card to find. Okay, next one we're going to look at is another more common one. This is Don Sutton. Sutton was the starting pitcher, 300 game winner, primarily for the Los Angeles Dodgers during the late 60s throughout the 70s. Played with Milwaukee in the 80s toward the end of his career. But Sutton was an excellent starting pitcher, pitched many years, had good won-loss records, good ERA, and a 66 Topps Dodgers Rookie Stars card he shares with Bill Singer. Singer had a decent major league career, was a pretty good starting pitcher in his own right, and played for a number of seasons as well. But Sutton is the primary guy on this card. So 66 Topps, Don Sutton rookie. Okay, next one we're going to look at. We looked at a few of these in previous episodes. These are the Lachlan. This is the second series of Lachlan. So these are 1978 long ago Black Stars. This one is picturing Ben Taylor, who was one of the Negro League greats. Taylor came up in the mid 19 teens with the Indianapolis ABCs. He was primarily a first baseman, a slugger. Um, Great guy, became a manager later on as well, and one of the primary leaders of the ball club within Indianapolis at that time. Spent a lot of time tutoring Oscar Charleston in hitting during the early days of Charleston's career, because Charleston came up with the Indianapolis ABCs as well. So great ball player, great individual, well respected in Negro League Baseball. Ben Taylor, 78, Lachlan, long ago, Black Stars. Next one is going to be a very familiar one again. This is a 77 tops Bruce Sutter. Bruce Sutter was one of the great relief pitchers. Not the first. Hoyt Wilhelm and Raleigh Fingers came before him, and Rich Gossage also. But Suter was one of the better earlier on relief pitchers. Really put the closer role, the 1 inning, 2 inning stints into mainstream Major League Baseball, and accumulated a great deal of saves during his career. And spent a lot of his time with clubs that were not always at the top of the standings, but definitely earned his Hall of Fame selection as a great relief pitcher for the Cubs. And the last one we're going to look at today is another Hall of Famer, another one of those Lachlan Black Stars cards. This one is Mule Suttles. Suttles played beginning during the 20s with the St. Louis Stars. Played through the 30s and into the 40s. The 40s he was with the Newark Eagles. Played for Effa Manley, the only female individual in the Baseball Hall of Fame. She was the owner of the Newark Eagles along with her husband Abe. Suttles was a slugger, excellent average hitter, and one of the all-time best Negro League batting averages and home run totals in the Negro League's recorded history. So Mule Suttles, this one is a 74 all-time Black Stars, so it's the first Lachlan issue. So that's going to wrap up today's episode for Baseball Hall of Fame rookie cards. These would be my choices for true rookie cards of each of the 16 individuals we talked about. We'll pick up where we left off in the S's with the next episode for Baseball Hall of Fame rookies. Let me know what you think in the comments. Hope you enjoyed the video, and have a great day, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.